Hello again from my front porch. Imagine seeing you here. Today I wanted to chat a little bit about. It's a sensitive topic. For the most part, I try to avoid things that are controversial. Although we do swerve into some things now and again, and I don't mind sharing my opinion on some stuff, and you sharing your opinions back about things. I try to avoid something that is like just really in your face kind of thing. This one may get a little borderline on that. That's not my intent, I swear. It's not my intent going in, but that still doesn't mean it may not happen. Because what I want to talk about are these little things, the masks. Not Iowa State. That's a whole different topic. I just happen to be fortunate to have this wonderful Iowa State mask that is my primary one that I wear when I go out and about, and that's what I want to visit about, because throughout this COVID thing, we're now told that you should be wearing a mask all the time. And we have political leaders, we have celebrities, we have media people who are telling you that if you go out without wearing your mask, that you are being inconsiderate of other people. You are demonstrating a lack of compassion. That you are not respecting other people around you. Former Vice President Biden, candidate for president now, he even said that if you don't wear your mask, you're not being patriotic. Now that's some big language around something that really obviously there's this full court press on. You need to be wearing this at all times. You need to wear this at all times. You see, here's I want you to understand. I don't have a problem with wearing a mask as it makes sense to do so. I think those who just completely resist the mask without actually worrying about the scenarios in which it makes sense to do so are being kind of silly. More than a little silly. They're just being stupid. But it's like we can only, like with so many other topics, like we can only see this in extremes. Either you wear this all the time or you don't wear it at all. And the reality is, as is always the case, is here in the middle. And that's kind of what I want to visit. But now, disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physician. I have no medical background whatsoever. I only know what I follow and what I research and what I read. Now, the whole concept about what you can and can't do because of COVID-19, a little bit of a moving target. The experts change their opinions about what does and doesn't work and all this kind of stuff. And frankly, a lot of it kind of feels like they're just guessing. They're just like, well, let's try this and let's try that. We tried that and it seems to have brought the numbers down, so that must work. Cause and effect may not be as direct as what they're saying, but still, there does seem to be that going on, because every once in a while we get them suddenly changing course on, before we told you this, well, now we're telling you this, and it's because they've not dealt with this before either. They claim, even though we're told that the COVID-19 has all the earmarks of like SARS and other things like that, just more virulent, so you would think that the experts would have an idea of what that footprint looks like, even though some of the features may be different. But again, I'm not here to pick at them. What I want to point out is, we've been told almost from the beginning, but certainly repeatedly over and over, and not just by crazy extremist wackos that are anti-mask wearers, but I've seen it on as generic as Good Morning America did a whole segment on it. You can look it up. It's on YouTube. That's where I want to watch it, because I don't watch Good Morning America. I don't watch any news shows for the most part. I look up things online, research things. But Good Morning America had a whole segment where they talked about masks, and even in that segment, which again was not pushing an agenda one way or the other. It was just discussing facts, which I appreciated. What they pointed out was, if you have COVID-19, then wearing this mask or any mask is helpful to everybody around you. Now, ideally though, if you have COVID-19, you shouldn't have anybody around you. You should be self-quarantining so that you are not risking infecting other people around you. But if you are going to have other people around you, you should wear a mask. Now, whether it's this kind of mask, the fabric mask, or those masks that, look like they came from the hospital, they got the blue or the green on the outside and the white, like fabric-y kind of stuff on the inside. Different ones of them have different material there, but still, those that make it look like you put it on like you're going into surgery, whether it's the fabric or those kind, those things, they can help block what comes from you. And that's what the reports, what the experts, the science all says. Good Morning America even said they block what comes from you. So if you have COVID-19, or technically any virus, anything, you wear this, you help protect other people around you from that. Because then when you cough, when you sneeze, even just in the act of talking, we unconsciously spray a bit. Now, some of us spray more than others, and it gets like, oh, wow, I say it, don't spray it, that old cliche. Well, now, that could be a bad thing if you, but all of us do that. I noticed even in one of my previous videos where we were wearing clear acrylic face shields while we were teaching in a class in DC, that we were doing that to prevent, to put a barrier between us and, everybody else in the room. I noticed that I started the day with a brand new clean acrylic shield. It had never been used. I took it out of the package myself. But by the end of the day, when I lifted the visor thingy, I could see the area where my mouth was. I could see that it was kind of funky, just from the random spray from my mouth as I talked during the day, and I had no clue that I was doing that. Now, if I had some virus, if I had some issue, easily I could be spreading it that way. And so wearing that barrier was a good thing. Wearing the mask is a good thing. Now, those medical masks that they wear, those temporary ones the doctor and stuff wear, that's great. It does that. These are not as great, but they're better than nothing in blocking that. And the reason I say that is because fabric, for the most part, it is more, I don't know what's the term, porous. I don't know. It doesn't filter as finely as those medical grade masks do. But even those medical grade masks, you look at the box and the container, and they are very blunt. That while they do a good job of blocking stuff coming from me to you, they do very, very little to protect you from whatever's coming from me. What I mean is, this mask, if I wear it and I cough or I sneeze, this mask has helped block a lot of that, not 100% of it, but a lot of it from just going straight out into the air and potentially infecting somebody else. However, if you are the person who has the problem and I'm wearing this mask and you start coughing or you start hacking or you start sneezing or you're a sprayer when you talk and I'm wearing this, you know how much good this mask does me? Very, very little. And if I'm wearing one of those medical grade masks, you know how much good those masks do me? If you're the sick one and I'm wearing the mask, very, very little. I won't say none. None. That's not accurate, but very, very little. See, we have this misunderstanding going on now that everybody should wear a mask because it protects you. No, it really does not. It might filter out a little bit, but it does not protect you. It only protects you if the person who is the sick one is wearing it. So the better thing, see, it's about misinformation. Telling everybody you should wear a mask because that's how we keep safe is a lie. It simply is. You wearing a mask, if you're not sick, you wearing a mask doesn't do anybody any good. Not yourself, not anybody else. However, if you are sick, yes, you should be wearing. You should be staying at home. You should be self-quarantining. Like I said before, you should be keeping away from people. That should be what you're doing. But if you're out and around, yes, you need to wear a mask. The problem, of course, is we can't trust people to do that. It's sad but true. See, there are a lot of people who, when they get sick, they are not going to admit it. They're not going to let on about it. They're not going to put on a mask, because if I'm the only one walking into the store wearing a mask, everybody knows I'm not feeling good. I'm a leper, and oh my God, stay away, stay away. I don't know. I just won't wear a mask. I'll just keep my mouth closed now. I'll breathe through my nose, and I'll just, be quick, and I'll look down, and somehow that'll make it all better. That kind of stuff. See, the problem is we can't depend on all people. Not everybody. Can't paint with a broad brush. But there are a lot of people, we can't depend on them to do the right thing. So the real message should be, everybody wear a mask so that those who are sick don't feel like they are ostracized because they're wearing a mask. I mean, really, that is the value of everybody wearing a mask. You wearing a mask, if you're not sick, it doesn't protect you. It simply does not. Now, there is one exception. There is the N95 masks that you may have heard about those. Those are higher grade masks. Now, again, the experts all say that the general public shouldn't even be worrying about having those. Those should be for medical personnel who are dealing with people suffering from COVID and other viruses. But let's say you're concerned about it. Like for example, my girlfriend Lisa, I can see her potentially wearing one of those because she has Crohn's disease, and so her immune system is already compromised, and at different times, every 6 weeks or so, she goes in for an infusion, and then her immune system just plummets. So I can see, if she needed to go out and run errands or something, I can see her wanting an N95 mask. But see, here's the other rub. People are trying to order those online and doing stuff, and what they're getting are knockoffs that aren't even real. That they're being shipped something that looks like an N95 mask, but it's not really an N95 mask. But even if it is real, you can't just buy one and slap it on. A true N95 mask needs to be fitted. It needs to be adjusted to conform to your face so that it blocks out all opportunity for things to get in. That's how an N95 mask actually works. So if you have an N95 mask and it hasn't been fitted, chances are it's not working optimally for you, and you still, if you are around somebody who is sick, you still will pick it up from them even though you're wearing an N95 mask. But the N95 mask aside, because most people don't have them, most of us are walking around with these, with a cloth mask, because it's become this whole cottage industry that's grown up of people just cranking these out like crazy. The real thing, it doesn't protect you. It does not help keep you safe, at least on its own. You still need to wash your hands, use hand sanitizer, be on the alert, be aware. And if someone around you does seem to be showing some symptoms of things, steer clear. But if they're clean and you're clean, you got nothing to worry about. It's okay. Don't be paranoid. See, we've got this, what I call mask hysteria, not mass hysteria. It is mass hysteria, but we have this mask hysteria where, oh my God, you're not wearing a mask. Are you trying to kill us all? Well, no, because I'm not sick. Well, but you could be sick. You could be sick and not know it. It's possible, although I am increasingly seeing reports that even the CDC is questioning just how much transmission can come from someone who is asymptomatic. That's starting to get poo-pooed, pushed aside a bit. Again, the jury's still out. I won't say it's not a reality, but it's looking like a diminishing reality. It really looks like the people who are clearly the most dangerous in terms of spreading around COVID-19 are those who clearly have COVID-19. Those individuals, wear a mask, yes. And if you want to wear a mask, because it makes you feel better, it's almost like Linus's blanket. Go ahead, wear one. Myself personally, I don't like wearing it on the plane. On a 2-hour flight, for example. it just gets really stale inside here. And when I get off the plane and in the airport, I swear to God, the first thing that I do is I rip this thing off and go, oh, now, am I risking something by doing that at that point? Potentially, I suppose. But the air, it just gets too stale inside this thing for a long period of time. However, I don't mind wearing it on the plane, and I'll probably will continue to wear it on the plane, especially during cold and flu seasons, because no, it does not block much, but it does block a little bit. And with my schedule the way it was, and probably eventually will be again, I don't really have time to be sick. I don't have time to be laid up for 3 or 4 days with a bug, and so if wearing this guy on the plane allows me to stay to at least deflect a little bit of that. Hey, I don't mind. I'll wear it. That's fine. But you see, the problem again is the messaging. We've led people to believe that this protects you, that this is like a barrier to, if you wear this, you will stay safe. No, that's not true. That is not true. It is a false sense of security. It is a lie. It's like a gun-free zone sign. Just because there's a sign that says gun-free zone doesn't mean a lunatic with a gun is gonna respect that sign. We do these things thinking that we've done good, that we tell ourselves, hey, I've done we've at least done something. Yeah, but if what you've done doesn't really help, then what's the point? And why belittle people? Why make people feel like complete idiots and jerks if the thing you're pushing doesn't do the miraculous that you're claiming it does? It's snake oil. However, it is in everyone's best interest for those who are sick to wear a mask. And if they are reluctant to wear a mask, if they are the only ones having to wear it, then I'm totally okay with the rest of us wearing masks as much as we can to encourage them, to make it safer for them to wear a mask, because that is in my best interest. See, that's what the messaging should be. That's the approach we should be taking. We shouldn't be lying to people, making people think, because we now have people, I've got people on my social media feed that they get into arguments about these stupid things where they're like, if you're not wearing a mask, oh, you're insane, you're crazy, you're gonna die. I'm like, no, you know what? If you are wearing a mask, you still can die. I mean, I'll just be blunt. You wear a mask, you go to wherever you're going, you run into somebody who has COVID-19 that isn't even wearing a mask at all. Guess what? This mask does not prevent you from contracting it. It just does not. That's the harsh reality. We all need to pay attention. We need to stay alert. We need to stay awake. We need to show respect for one another. But showing respect is more than wearing a mask and insulting others who don't. Showing respect for one another is understanding that the people who really need to be wearing something and using the barrier are the people who haven't. And those that we need to really be looking out for are those at high risk. See, that's what we should have been doing all along too. But instead, we focused on shutting everything down, telling everybody you got to wear a mask. We did it as this mass precaution. People will say better safe than sorry. I understand, it's a fair mentality. But with that mentality, don't ever get in a motorized vehicle again. In 2019, there were 4.4 million people who were injured in car accidents to the point that they required medical attention. And there were 38,000 people who died in car accidents in just 2019 alone. And that was down from previous years. But you think about that, none of those people who were injured, those 4.4 million people or the other 30-some thousand who died, those individuals, they didn't get in their car with the idea that they were going to go out and get killed or get injured. No. They were just driving, just like any of us do. And then freak things happened, and boom, there they were. And so if you're worried, if you want to live by the mentality of better safe than sorry, don't get in a car ever again. Don't get in a truck. Don't get in a motorized vehicle ever again, because the safest thing you can do is to not get in those vehicles. Your odds are better that you won't be in one of those accidents then. That's crazy. I wouldn't tell you don't get in a car. I'm saying though, when we justify something like this by saying better safe than sorry, understand that we're hypocrites with that, because there's so many other things in our life we don't abide by that same mentality to. The only reason we're saying about this is because this is the new hot button. This is the new cliche thing. Trust the science, remember? Trust the facts. Trust yourself. Trust your neighbor. Look out for one another. It's not that difficult. We can do this. And with that, I'll see y'all next time from my front porch.